Good morning, lovely people, and welcome to the cabin. We're not at the farm today because we're on our way to go pick up a special surprise. This was not expected until later on this year, but lo and behold, we got the notice, and so we packed up our bags, we got help on the farm, and we left within a couple of days of hearing what was ready for us. So we're here, only about an hour away from our destination. We stayed the night in this cabin. It was fun. It was also scary because there is apparently a mythological legendary creature called a hodag. A hodag. Look it up. H-O-D-A-G, I believe. So this is the place that we were staying last night. Nice little cabin right out on the lake. So it'd be fun to come back here another time when we've got more time to actually vacation, but since this is more of a business trip, we got to get going. And I need some coffee.
Row is ours, and then not on the other side of that, and then to the road and to the fence, or to the woods again.
Okay.
This is your boar, the ginger and black one.
Pretty.
And then obviously green and white.
Yeah.
I hate them as
They're a little jumpy. They had to get picked up and moved around, and your little boar and this one right here are used to us going in and scratching. Either way, they're gonna take a couple days to get used to you.
Yeah.
I mean, they got picked up, they got hauled over, then you're gonna haul them all the way back.
Yeah.
They're gonna be all new. So seriously, just feed them and then just sit down. If you just sit down and let them come to you, it's gonna take like 2 or 3 days, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got it, we're good." And then they'll be running over to you for scratches. So the little girl, the white girl, is actually the oldest, and then these two are, I think, August 12th and maybe August 9th. But they're really right around 4. These two are about 4 to 5 weeks old, and she's a little bit older. I think the Idahos, honestly, it's 50-50. Do you know what I mean? So you still get a nice amount of fat, but you actually get some meat to go with it.
Sure.
So this is the group that actually, so the green ear tags are the ones that are sisters to your green that did not make breeding quality. These are not breeding quality. And then there's a group in the middle, so there's a mom on the far side, and then there's a group in front of her that is another group of girls that are not breeding quality. And the boars that aren't breeding quality obviously get castrated, and you guys, people buy them. So we end up usually just keeping all the girls. Or if you have a boy, randomly you'll have a boy that's growing a little slower. So this is basically our 2 maternity wards. Hers are 4 days old. In here she has her baby, she hangs out, she does her thing, and when we wean, she leaves and the piglets stay for a couple days until they're comfortable. And then we actually scoop them up and do like we did with these groups. We'll sort them out the way we need to, but yeah, this way we know this is Kelly, I know who Kelly was bred to, I know who Kelly's babies are. Minerals.
Yes.
The most important thing in your pig's diet.
Yep.
If you do not have the minerals right, that is what happens. So normally in September, we do 1 month where we do 150 pounds per ton of feed. Of our mineral mix.
Okay.
Normally we do 100 pounds per ton. In September we have found that because the grass looks green, but it's dying, so it's not pulling the nutrients out of the grass like it normally does. So they need, I call it a reboot. So we do 150 pounds for the month of September. Everyone gets back to stable, and then we can go back to our 100 pounds for the rest of the year.
Okay.
This year, for reasons I don't understand exactly, other than we had a really early spring, I don't know if that played into it, but it was probably the second week in August that they started nosing the ground, and this is how it starts, and you're like, no. But once it starts, it takes a while to fix it. So we first had to finish out the feed we had, and I top dressed a little, but not obviously appropriately.
Okay.
And then got the next stuff in. So in the meantime, they did start nosing and messing with the ground. In these pastures, if that is happening, I know it's a mineral problem. When you put them into a brand new pasture, if you have dandelions, they're going to take out and nose across and take out all the dandelions. They have literally done it in every pasture we've ever put them into. So if they're just doing that and you've got dandelions, that's more of them taking the dandelions out. And then the grass grows back in the spring and it's fine and everyone's happy and you will never see another yellow dandelion in your pasture again. Because if you look in the spring like this, there's nothing. And then the pastures for the horses and the bison loaded with dandelions.
Okay.
But yeah, they really, really like dandelions. The other thing is I recommend mowing. Usually in July we mow everything and then, you know, it grows up like this group. But now you can see if we cross the hill, you'll see. And again, there's some of them, they're nosing a little bit down in there simply because it's too tall. So when it gets too tall for them, they will nose it over so they can still keep eating it. So this group is our last group of feeders, and this group goes to butcher here shortly. A boy that was not growing quite as fast as he needed to be, so he stayed to get raised out. But he's, I mean, at 14 months compared to some of these, which are, you know, 9, a little over 9 months. We usually breed so that they have their first litter about the time they're turning 1.
Okay.
As long as they're the same size. I mean, yours are coming at the same ages.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't take a 7-8 month old girl and put her in with an adult boar. I mean, if you put, there's 2 boars right there. He's going to tower over top of her. She's got to support him and you not get hurt. If they get to stay and breed for me, they all have a name. Cutest pig on the property. This is why we came all the way to Paige.
Stand here with me if you're scared.
No, look at Paige. Paige is super friendly. Look at, does Paige look mean? She's not. Paige doesn't even know how to be scary.
Touch her. Come on, you gotta try it.
Look at, just look at her cute little adorable face. Does she look like the cutest pig on the property?
No.
What? She is though. Look again.
It looks
She's
like
adorable.
It looks like a cute pig, but it doesn't feel like that.
No, they're pretty coarse, aren't they?
All right, then give it a try. You try it once and you can say you did it. Strong scratch. Yeah, like that. Oh, she likes it.
Oh, look at now she's
likes
looking
it.
for more. See, she's even giving you her bum for scratches. So all of my big pens, we will put a big round bale out, and then the round bale lasts 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks, depending on how much snow we're getting.
Okay.
But they can lay down next to their opening if they want to. They eat a lot of it. If I'm not quick enough to get straw out, they will haul some in for themselves. But eventually it gets covered as it snows. And you know, other people are like, but then it's yucky and it's gone. But it's not. Because as the snow melts in the spring, then they come back through and eat it. So they eat almost everything as it goes. I will still come back through and give them 2 or 3 leaves of alfalfa. I'm gonna say 2 or 3 times a week, just because it has extra protein in it.
Okay.
But as far as the soft grass hay, we put a big round bale out. That's Triton. So you can see like their toenails get wore down, and they do here. And where we lived in Pennsylvania, they always got wore down. We've had some people say that theirs don't get wore down and then they need to trim them.
Okay.
We've never had to do that for an Idaho. When we had the coonies, we had one cooney sow that just, for whatever reason, if her toenails grow that much faster or if she just didn't walk around as much, I think she just didn't walk around as much. But we would have to trim hers every so often. And I usually just waited till she farrowed and did it. But we've never had to trim an Idaho Pasture Pig's toes.
Right.
So we always feed over the fence for the simple fact that if you walk in to feed, then they start to associate you with food.
Yep.
And then they do start to get really pushy. So I mean, they come over for scratches, but if I walked in here to feed every time, then they would start to think I was the food.
Yeah.
I mean, I was bringing it, so they would be a lot more aggressive as you're standing. You couldn't just stand here as nice. Yeah, we recommend putting, I mean, it sounds like, oh, we just want to go in. We'll feed them and then come back and play with them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they like for you to come in and give scratches and play, but I like them to not be aggressive either. So, and you know, your mom. So if you picked up one of that mom's piglets that just had her, well, any of them, honestly, and they squealed, would she come running over to check on them? Yeah. I mean, but that's her job, right? Like, if one of yours was crying, would you run to see what was wrong? Like, that's your job. So again, don't set her up to fail. We put them back down. We say we're okay. We never castrate or ear tag or do anything with the piglets while they're still with the mom. We wean, take her away, and then scoop. We honestly just scoop the whole group up, ear tag, deworm, and castrate all on the same day, and then either put them back where they're going or they go to, you know, to a different pen with one of the group of other ones. But
Sure.
Again, if you don't ever pick them up and have the moms there when the piglets are squawking, she never associates you with her piglet squealing. So she doesn't think you're the big mean person. You're just you, right? You're her friend. Yeah, try and set them up to succeed. I mean, I want to be able to comfortably say to you, sure, bring him in, he's fine. And no, 100%, there's absolutely nothing that's going to happen when he comes in here. Now, would I say to him, go run around through here without anyone? No. Because again, there's still an animal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him do that with the horse pasture. Don't ever go in the bison pasture. No one goes in the bison pasture. Yeah. We just butchered, in fact, 2 this year. And one actually was not prepared, but she was aggressive. And away she went. And now my herd is back to happy, and I am happy. So I don't know what your plan is for farrowing, but the joy of the A-frames is when the sow walks, they like to lay down on their backs, hit balls or hit something solid. So if they walk into an A-frame and the mom's back hits, she will lay down, but then it naturally leaves a space behind her. So again, you're setting her up to succeed. You're giving her that space so her piglets can be behind her. So even when she lays down, there's that space for them.
Sure.
Now that said, honestly, they all have extremely, extremely good mothering instincts. So they, you know, if their piglet squeals, they turn, they check. A lot of times they'll lay down on their stomach, then they kind of look, and then they flop to their sides.
How long does an A-frame usually last you?
So a long, long time. We have A-frames that we built in Pennsylvania, we took apart, and we brought with us here.
Okay.
So a really long time.
Just left White Bison Farm and had a great time with Jodi. She showed us around and gave us a lot of good information about pigs, raising pigs, all the different things that you should think about with pigs, specifically the Idaho Pasture Pig. It was a really good time, so thank you to Jodi and her husband Dave that we met just as we were leaving, but we appreciate all the time that she spent with us. It's a really good opportunity to be able to go and visit the farmer that you're getting the animals from, who have the experience that you don't have and have the setup that you don't yet have, are able to see for yourself how something like that is done and get some good advice. We feel pretty confident now, more confident than before we went. And if you're ever looking for Idaho Pasture Pigs anywhere near Laona, Wisconsin, definitely check out White Bison Farm. They have a really good program there from what I can tell, and their pigs look really good. All in all, it was a good trip and well worth the 12-hour round trip drive to get here and pick up the pigs and see how it's done. learn a lot of good stuff. We're excited to get our pigs back and see how they acclimate and adapt to our farm. Altogether, we got 3 breeders and we got 3 farrows.